Okay, sorry. Anyway, I've always made a bad first impression on people. I don't know why, I just do. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like, you know, some people are anyway about food. When they don't like it, or they don't have a good reason, they usually say it's the texture. It's kind of like, especially with yogurt, I've always found out. They say that I don't like the texture, and maybe they just really don't want to eat a bowl full of germs or something like that, or they have their own reasons. But they say it's the texture, and so you accept that, but then you see them eating a bowl of pudding. Same texture, right? So you know they just don't want to come across as food bigots, because bigotry is so bad, and they don't want to seem narrow-minded. And that's kind of, I'm sort of like the yo play of people when it comes to it. People just don't like me, they can't really put their finger on it. Because of that, when I meet somebody who I don't like when I first meet them, I usually try to give them a second chance, form a second opinion of them. And somebody I did this with was a guy named Walter Johnson. This was in the 1980s. I was teaching English in Japan, and Walter was another English teacher. I disliked him right away. He was from Texas, and he had that kind of arrogance. You know, I'm from Texas, I'm from the best state, the best country in the world. And, you know, with that kind of attitude that if you're going to go overseas, you should leave that attitude in America when you leave, but not Walter. And there were about 15 other English teachers. They didn't like him either, except for one person who did like him, a woman named Margaret. She said Walter wasn't so bad if you gave him a chance, got to know him a little. And I liked her and I respected her opinion, so I figured, well, okay, I'll do that. So, because of her and also a couple other reasons, I gave Walter another chance. The other reasons were that Walter, like me, was physically different. In his case, his arms were disproportionately short compared to the rest of his body. He had to kind of twist sideways, put his hands in his pocket. Also, his parents named him Walter. Yeah, so I'm really sorry for him for that. Another thing, well, he's not such a bad name, but another thing about him that I kind of admired, although this isn't really a reason to like somebody, is that his wife was a Japanese woman who had been a flight attendant, which in Japan in the 80s, that meant that you were A, female, and B, really good looking. And sure enough, I never met her, but other teachers who saw her said she was stunningly beautiful, like a movie star or something. And so I kind of had a little admiration for her. The company I worked for, we would go out and teach on site, so we had to share trains and taxis together, and so it kind of made sense if you did go on with somebody. And I gave Walter another chance, had a second opinion of him, which was favorable, and we got along okay. We would have nice conversations taking trains and during breaks when we were teaching at the same company. Well, the company we worked for gave us a month of paid vacation every year around the holidays. And they would do that so we could go home and visit our families or travel in Asia. The idea being that you'd be happy, you wouldn't quit, so turnover would be low, which always makes sense. But they were kind of rigid about when you could go, when you could come back. They had set dates, and you really had to fulfill your teaching obligations. Well, Walter got a great deal on a plane ticket home, back to the U.S. And the company wouldn't, it conflicted a few days with his teaching obligations. The company wouldn't bend. Walter couldn't get anybody to teach, to cover his classes, so he was really pissed off at the financial hit that he had to take. But, c'est la vie, right? About a week before vacation, during a break, Walter comes up to me. We were teaching at the same place. Walter comes up to me and says, I'm leaving tomorrow. Just want to say goodbye. My brother's been killed in a hunting accident. He was going over a fence. He didn't have the safety on. Shotgun went off, got him right in the chest. Now, a little part of me is thinking like, really? But I kind of take people at their word, and I thought that would be such an obvious lie given the timing of it. And plus, really, was he so bad that he'd make up a brother and then kill him just to save a few bucks? So I kind of thought, no. So I felt awful for him. I said, well, Walter, I'm so sorry. And I shook hands and everything, and wished him well, and said, oh, I'll see you when you get back. Sure enough, Walter was lying. And, he made up a brother and then killed him just to save the money. Turns out Walter, who said he was from Texas, was actually from Oklahoma. Apparently for some Oklahoma people, that's like a step up. Being from Texas. Walter wanted that status, I guess. Didn't even have a brother, as far as I know. If he did, the brother was fine. Now, Walter turned out to be like the Volkswagen Diesel of people. So I figured, all right, my second opinion of Walter was wrong. A couple of months go by, I'm headed for a class. Another English teacher comes up and he thrusts this Japanese English language newspaper and says, read this. And I read this, and it's an article about Walter. Just a few paragraphs. Turns out Walter never gave his beautiful wife a divorce. He was one of those guys who, like, I want nothing to do with her, but she's still mine. She's my wife. And I really don't get it. Men, right? So that was Walter. And she wanted a divorce so she'd get on with her life. So she goes to Oklahoma to press her case for a divorce. And Walter, instead of giving her a divorce, he gets a gun, shoots her in the head, and kills her. I know. That's how I felt. So, what I learned from this, now when I say that I know I sound like a fifth grader giving the book report. What I learned from this is that sometimes second opinions can be right, sometimes second opinions can be wrong, and sometimes second opinions can be really wrong.